From the 1011 streaming studio, this is Star City Buzz.
Hi everyone, Bill Rentschler in the 1011 Now streaming studio with Danielle Shenk. It is Thursday afternoon, Danielle, and that means everyone is excited and ready for the weekend.
Yep, and Star City Buzz, so we're trying to let you know what's happening for the weekend, mostly for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, although since it is Thursday, we have a few Thursday events included as well.
We do. And, you know, this is, I think, our fourth or fifth time doing this now. We've had some stumbles. We've had some stops. There's been some extenuating circumstances where we haven't been able to do the segment live like we wanted to right after the 4 o'clock show on Thursdays. But we're slowly kind of getting better at it now and sort of sifting through and sort of finding events to put on the calendar. And I have to tell you, again, Danielle puts together a lot of these events in the Excel spreadsheet. There's a lot. There's a lot. So we have a lot to go through.
Yeah, I stumbled upon a new resource, and it, led to about 20 more events than what we normally go through. But, you know, now that we're not on a time crunch, it's not. We don't feel up against the wall to have to get through all of these events. We can take the time that we want and really break down some of these good events and add the details that we would like to.
That is the nice part, again, about the streaming desk here is that we can go as long as we want, whereas in a newscast, we have those hard time limits. But a lot of things going on, but we always like to start with kind of the big event that's happening this weekend. And this weekend, it is going to be, drum roll please, wait for it, the opening of Roca Berry Farm. For the season, Roca is always a great time, whether it's the train, which my son goes right
bonkers for.
Right to. The apple donuts are always delicious. This year, though, they have they have a miniature golf course, and they have a ghost town as well out at Roca. Yeah. And then the pumpkins are always great.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, everybody wants it to be fall already, although the weather won't agree. Well, we can just blame Bill for that. But yeah, Roca Berry is always such a fun time. And now it's opening for the season. You know, that means spooky season's right around the corner as well.
Yeah. Danielle already has her Halloween decorations up.
I do. And we were talking about this earlier. I don't want to hear any guff about having my Halloween decorations up because Walmart already has their Christmas stuff up and for sale. So
I'll just judge you a little bit, but just silently.
Hey,
and I won't say
I have some cool neon lights for Halloween, and you know it's cool when it's dark in your apartment and the pretty lights. Right? So I'm a sucker for that.
So we'll have Roca Scary Farms here, obviously, with Halloween coming up, and then they always have a ton of stuff going on out there at Roca. So again, you'll just have to kind of keep your eyes tuned to their webpage for, you know, kind of the latest comings and goings. But again, it's just a great thing to get out there with the kids and do, and hopefully again enjoy some nice weather, which. Hopefully here in the next couple of weeks, it starts to feel a little bit more fall-like.
And I mean, at least 80s isn't too bad, you know.
But when you've got a kid on this arm and a kid on this arm.
Running around outside. Yeah, it gets a little bit. But,
it does.
You know, hopefully there's a breeze or something.
So that's kind of the big one. Then obviously we still have a ton of Husker stuff happening this weekend. Again, Huskers hosted Colorado last weekend. It was an electric atmosphere. Again, 6:30 kick last week, so a night game, another night game this week. They're going to kick off against Northern Iowa. Again, that's also going to be at 6:30. Rule talked about it today. It's going to be hard to kind of try and replicate the atmosphere they had last week. Yeah. Again, it's Northern Iowa. It's not Colorado. The 1994 national championship team is not going to be there. They're probably not going to have the balloon release again this week. They're probably not going to have the drone show, but it should be another good evening.
Yeah, there was a lot to live up to with the Colorado game, and it for sure did. And, you know, we keep hearing about some of the stuff that comes out after it, like Travis Hunter talking about how crazy the atmosphere was and that it was hard for him to even think in there. And for those of you who have been to the stadium in a night game or even when tensions are high, you know that it can get pretty loud in there. And then with the Chasing 3 documentary series that's out on NBC2, Colorado was talking a little bit of trash to us during the coin toss. And we all see how that turned out. So, I mean, although the atmosphere and hype might not be as big, I mean, it's still a Husker game day, you know, and the weather's going to be decent once again. And, hey, they're celebrating Ag Day, so...
There you go. So also not just football, but volleyball. John Cook and his squad hosting the Nebraska Classic. So they have Arizona State, 14th ranked Arizona State, Wichita State, who we're seeing video of right here when we played them in the spring game, and Long Beach State in town for a triangular or quadrangular, whatever you want to,
however you want to phrase it. Yeah, we miss out on Long Beach State, but we have Arizona Arizona State on Friday, and then Wichita State on Saturday. But Arizona State is going to be a tough challenge. I mean, if volleyball fans know that it's been quite a crazy season. I mean, Texas coming out as number 1 and then getting beat by Miami and by Minnesota, and then, us by SMU. Rankings kind of don't really matter this early in the season. It's just who's ready to play right out of the gate.
It is. So, again, the Bob will be busy throughout the entire weekend. And, again, Danielle just mentioned it, but Huskers will play Arizona State Friday evening at 7, and then Wichita State Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock. Those are kind of, again, the big ones, but we have plenty of things to talk about, and there's some events, Danielle, that are happening kind of throughout the weekend.
Yeah, some multi-day events here. So the Wizard of Oz is once again showing over at the Nebraska Community Playhouse. That's happening Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at 7:30, but then on Sunday they have the matinee at 2 p.m. Kind of the same story for Nebraska Wesleyan as they have the Revolutionists. So that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 7:30, and a matinee at 2. And then over at the Sandhills Global Event Center, they have the NDA's School Show Championships, a couple of horse roping events over there. And then the Wonderland Nebraska Acro Arts Showcase is happening over at the Nebraska Ballet Theater and School. And they've got quite a few shows back to back. So they're going at 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., and 7 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. So
8 shows.
Lots of flipping around.
In 2 days.
Yeah.
In the ballet shoes.
Yeah.
So...
lots of
sore
acrobatics, and it's an Alice in Wonderland theme, so that's where the Wonderland comes in.
Okay. All right. So those are the multi-day events. Now we're going to dive into sort of the day-by-day events here, starting with Friday. Again, starting early in the morning. Again, you might have to get off work. Otherwise, maybe go over the lunch break or something like that. They have Fridays at Prairie Pines Nature Reserve, which, again... going to be a little bit breezy. It's going to be a little bit warm, but it still should be a nice day to kind of get outside and take some of that in.
Yeah,
5 p.m. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Those are happening until December 27th. So you have plenty of time to maybe schedule a Friday, down the road to take the day off and go connect with nature. So don't feel pressured that this isn't a one-time thing.
Touch some grass. I
have to touch some grass.
I have to tell the boys that sometimes, like, you guys just need to go outside and touch some grass.
Get off the iPads. Get off social media.
Yeah.
Go connect with the earth. All that good stuff.
Yes. I'm interested in this one. I also did not know that tomorrow is Friday the 13th until we were actually filling out these graphics. But over at White Elm Brewing, they're having a Friday the 13th art market.
Yeah, and... gonna have some beer, art from local artists. Sounds like a good time over there.
We've mentioned this one a couple times already,
yes.
And again, I'm still interested, and I haven't been able to go yet. But Lincoln Historical Ghost Quest. It's going to be down in the Haymarket, 6:30 to 9 p.m. Friday evening.
Yeah, and as I was doing more scheduling for this and looking at this, I discovered that it's actually multiple tours with this Lincoln Historical Ghost Quest. So there's a couple that you can choose from. There's either the Haymarket Spirits Tour, the James Arthur Vineyards Ghost Tour event, or the regular Haunted Historical Walking Ghost Tour. So they have a couple of choices. You can do some in groups. You can get private events, types of things like that, but we'll have the link for their website and tickets in this article that we have posted.
And probably should again just mention most, if not all, I think of these events are all listed in our article on 1011now.com. If you're watching live on YouTube right now, you can find the link to that article in the YouTube description. So that's where you can get some of that stuff. And again, the last event on there, again, we already just mentioned it a little bit ago, but the Huskers hosting Arizona State Friday evening at 7 o'clock. There's still more happening, though. We have two pages for Friday.
2 pages for Friday.
Two pages for Friday.
Everyone tries to get stuff going so they can set aside time for Huskers or other things for most of the weekend.
And I'm interested in a couple of them on here. First one is the Garage Band at Deer Springs Winery, and this is actually, I think, a cool thing. It's for charity, and this is a benefit that's going to go towards for inclusive playground here in Lincoln.
Yeah, and so they're a 5-piece band from Lincoln, and so it'll be an evening of wine, music, food, just a good time on Friday the 13th. So hopefully that date means nothing.
It's not a full moon. It's not a full moon. I just say that. So.
Not that much craziness.
Anything with wine.
Yeah.
My wife is definitely game. 7:30 Friday evening, Lincoln Symphony Orchestra presents Passion and Percussion at the Lead Center. This would be, I think, an interesting one. Again, either Liam or Jamie, I think, would really be interested in this. I think they'd be really interested in just smashing the cymbals that I imagine are going to be at this event. Then over at the Bourbon Theater, all right, it's going to be J Dreams the Alien, Young Yash, Big Bear, and Dream Journal. Doors open for that show at 7, and then the show starts at 8. And then, Danielle, I'm going to let you finish out because I know this was one of your favorite
I was going to say,
people
young
here.
me would have been so hyped that DJ Pauly D is going to be at the Royal Grove. Doors open at 8, but the show is at 9. I mean, not to say that I'm not hyped right now that DJ Pauly D, but when I was watching Jersey Shore once upon a time, I would have thought, oh my goodness, that's so cool that he's coming to Lincoln. I
had one time, not to get nostalgic here, when I was working in Cheyenne, and there's Frontier Days in Cheyenne.
I've been there.
That's their big event. And so I had been out all day. And when you're in media working, you have a dress code. Like you're required to wear like basically a plaid type shirt and jeans. And so it's like 90 some degrees outside. I'm in jeans. I'm hot. I'm sweaty. I'd been wearing a cowboy hat. Had to go back for the show. And I just like layered in hair gel in my hair because it was just... It was bad, and I got an email basically right after the show that basically accused me of looking like a cast member from Jersey Shore with the amount of hair gel that I had in my hair. So
yes, Bill had hair once upon a time.
Once upon a time, I did. So that's Friday. Saturday, again, I'm probably going to be here, so you could come maybe hang out with me. Over in Waverly, the Camp Creek Railroaders Fall Show is happening. Again, if you like trains. Steam trains, electric trains. They're going to have free rides over there. This is actually both Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Again, in Waverly. It's a fun event. They have rides. They have concessions. It's supposed to be fun for all ages. So, again, you could kind of kick off your Saturday maybe hanging out with some trains. Some miniature, smaller-ish
when
trains.
my brother was younger, he was a big Thomas the Train fan. So, since you told a little story, I'll tell a little one. When I was hanging out with my grandparents, and they lived close enough to the railroad tracks in Clarks, Nebraska. And so if we heard a train coming, we would get into the pickup, load in really fast. They'd peel out of the driveway and go, Hot Wheels, and then get to the railroad as fast as we could to watch the train go by.
There you go. Yeah, I have all the Thomas the Tank engines.
Yeah.
And Katie and I like to say that our oldest son, Liam, causes confusion and delay, which is what Sir Topham Hatt says in Thomas the Train. So, so that Railroader show in Waverly, that starts Saturday morning, 10 a.m., goes to 5 p.m. It's also happening on Sunday, but plenty of other things also happening Saturday. Again, Danielle, we always start out with the farmer's market because it's not going to last forever.
Yeah, and there's a couple more yet, but, you can still catch this weekend's one starting at 8, or you can head over to Roca for the Rustic Barn Vendor Show. That's from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
It feels like a place you'd see John and Taryn Vanderford.
Yes, it does. And last year there were over 60 vendors, including some live entertainment, food and beverages and stuff. So another good time. If you want to, venture out before you maybe see the Husker game or watch volleyball, then there is the Art in the Garden 2024 Golden Hour over at the Sunken Gardens. That's happening from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So local artists are going to be painting there.
Live music, food trucks.
Yeah, the whole shebang. And
it's always nice to see the Sunken Gardens.
Yeah, it is. And with beautiful art like showcasing the golden hour when the sun's going down, all of those are going to be good art pieces. And then at 2 p.m., like we've mentioned before, that Nebraska volleyball is taking on Wichita State.
The Shockers. In the Bob. All right. So also, again, Saturdays you get further into the evening, or still afternoon, I guess, for this first one. But 2 p.m. over at Antelope Park, the Latino Festival. This is basically just going to be sort of a celebration of Hispanic culture. They're going to have music. They're going to have art. They're going to have food, a whole bunch of stuff. Again, it's always a good time over at Antelope Park, either playing at the playground. And again, there's usually something going on at Antelope Park. We always stop there at the playground with the boys, and also to spin some Pokemon stops. And usually, again, there's some huge party going on. Then obviously 6:30 Saturday evening is kickoff, Nebraska versus Northern Iowa. You're not going to be down watching the game in Memorial Stadium. You can catch that on Big Ten Network. So that will go 6:30 probably till about 10. At 7 p.m. you're going to give me this one.
Another
here,
one,
Danielle. Cypress Young, Austin Tolliver, and Jake Clough-Corn at the
Sure.
Bourbon Theater.
Lots of new artists, emerging artists. That's what we've kind of noticed that the Bourbon's known for, is getting some people in front of the stage that might not have as well-known names.
No. No, names that you have to be like, wait, how do I say this? And then over at the Royal Grove again, they're going to have DJ Pauly D Friday, and then on Saturday, they're going to have the Fashion Flow Festival over at the Royal Grove. So again, the Bourbon Theater and again, the Royal Grove, all of downtown, going to be busy places both Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, and as we had kind of mentioned, big day Saturday with Roca Berry Farm being open at 9 a.m., so that'll be a good
14th,
time,
yep. They're open
headlining the Saturday. And then also, if you are interested in the arts more, there is a mural tour that starts at Mojave Cafe's patio. It's about a 45-minute, hour-long tour to see some of the murals across Lincoln and, learn the stories behind them.
There you go.
It'll be cool.
It'll be a good time. All right. We've covered a lot of ground.
Mm-hmm.
We have more ground to cover, but we need a little bit of a break.
Right
We'll be
after
back
this.
in 1 minute. And welcome back, everyone. Again, Bill Rentschler with Danielle Shenk, 1011 Now Streaming Studio, the latest Star City Buzz. We've covered Friday and Saturday, but we're going to keep the train going. No pun intended there. And head into our Sunday events as there's even more going on.
Yeah, so over at the UniPlace Creative District, the UniPlace Makers Market is happening from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's actually a newly formed district, and this event is free to the public, family, pet friendly. There'll be vendors, music, food trucks, all that good stuff, as you do with most of these events, have all that stuff. Now, this is the event that I've been looking forward to. I actually have tickets for it. It is the Totally Rad Vintage Fest at the Sandhills Global Event Center, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. I bought tickets already. The advance tickets, that shook out to about $10, but you can get early bird tickets where you get 8:30 entry before everyone else.
Ooh.
Those cost $25, or day of is $12, but kids 12 and under get in for free. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to that event. Also at 10 a.m. is Yoga in the Park, once again over at Antelope Park, or the Doggies and Divas drag brunch is happening at Off the Leash Dog Bar.
I still have not been to the Off the Leash bar.
I have. It is so cool.
And I need to take at least one of my four-legged creatures. I can't take all three, but I need to at least take one of them.
Yeah. I've been with my friend Hannah to Off the Leash Dog Bar. She has a dog named Willow, and the dog goes crazy. Yeah. Nice place to sit outside, or there's spaces inside. You can get drinks, things like that. It's a nice chill vibe.
There we
for
go.
Sure.
Well, also then happening on Sunday is the All Corvette Show.
Vroom, vroom.
Vroom, vroom. This is going to be over at like the Emeritus parking lot over by Gateway. You may have seen the sign. They've had a big sign that's kind of hanging right there on the retaining wall. But this is going to be on Sunday, and again, they're going to have food. They're going to have prizes. They're going to have a silent auction, a whole bunch of stuff. If you want more information on it, you can actually go to their website. It's going to be I think it's Nebraska Corvette
Association, or NebraskaCorvette.com. Yeah.
NebraskaCorvette.com. And so they're expecting potentially several hundred Corvettes at the Emeritus Life Insurance parking lot over there at Gateway. So that should be, I think, a pretty good time.
So if you're a big fan of cool cars, it's right up your alley.
It's definitely the place to be. But there's even more happening on Sunday. Even more. So noon to 5, Porch Jam 2024 ! This is going to be basically a big music fest, over
Yes.
20 bands, food trucks, and you basically just kind of jamming out and hanging out and having a good time.
Yeah, when I first saw Porch Jam, I instantly thought of like jam that you made at home, like that you'd put on toast or something. And then I kept reading and I was like, oh, that makes a lot more sense.
Not quite.
That makes a lot more sense.
Not quite. I'm interested in what's going on over at the Corky Canvas at 2 p.m. It's Dogs Bark or Cats Meow. And so this is a fundraiser for the Capital Humane Society, and it's basically just hanging out and drawing pictures of your furry friends.
Yeah,
Not drawing,
can't go wrong
painting.
there. Yeah.
Painting pictures of your furry friends. So that should be, I think, a really good time over there at the Corky Canvas. And again, going to a good cause. Capital Humane Society is always doing good work in the community. 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock, Summer Sunday live music series over at Kincaider Brewing. Spending any amount of time over at Kincaider Brewing is always a good time. And if you get some live music mixed in there as well, it should be extra good. And then Samples of the World. This is going to be over at the College View Seventh-day Adventist Church. This is, from what I understand, just kind of a good neighborhood community event, just showcasing diversity of cultures within the area.
Yeah.
So it should
trying some food, different little samples there. And back to the Summer Sunday live music series, Denise Howe is performing.
Ooh.
So that's what we've got there. But, our weekend can't be complete without knowing what the weather's going to be like and dressing for these events. So
you
Bill,
have to dress appropriately for the conditions. And while I have seen some trees in Lincoln that are starting to see their colors turn, it will not be feeling fall-like just yet. Although, hold on, let me check the calendar here. Technically speaking, this is the last full weekend of summer. Because next Sunday, again, we've already entered meteorological fall, but next Sunday is the beginning of astronomical fall. So it's going to be warm. We're talking around 90 on Friday, basically sunny, mid-80s on Saturday, so just a little bit cooler, a little bit of a southeast breeze, and then back up to around 90 again on Sunday. We're going to throw in some small 20% chances for some rain, maybe on Saturday and again on Sunday. I think if we do see anything, it's going to be fairly isolated and not a whole lot. I certainly wouldn't cancel any weekend plans based on what the forecast looks like at least right now. But there is at least that chance in the forecast. If you're going to be down in Memorial Stadium, this is the Anderson Wealth and Retirement Husker Game Day forecast. Again, it's going to be warm. Tailgating, you're talking mid-80s by 3 o'clock. Low 80s is what we're thinking for kickoff. But again, low 80s outside of the stadium.
Yeah.
In the stadium,
that's a
with
different story.
86,000 of your best friends, I would probably say maybe closer to 90.
Yeah.
And then on the field itself, especially if you're in the sun, even warmer than that. But again, the sun's going to be going down shortly thereafter. And again, hopefully for celebrating a Husker win. Again, the post-game celebrations, you're going to have temperatures in the 70s, partly cloudy skies. It should be, again, a pretty nice evening, but it will be warm in Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, at least hopefully there's a little bit of breeze that gets in there, and then, some of the clouds can provide some shade a little bit of relief from the constant hot that it is going to feel.
And especially, if you're in West Stadium or East Stadium, the sun will be going down. So if you're in East Stadium, maybe some sunscreen wouldn't be a terrible idea to kind of keep yourself from cooking there. All right, we've covered a lot of ground. And we only have a couple minutes here before we're going to get booted off the live stream because the 5 o'clock news is starting here in just a few minutes. Is there anything else you wanted to make sure we got mentioned before we let everyone go?
I was just going to have one more thought before I mention another thing, is that we have talked, about how Star City Buzz used to be a segment before that they had that was 30 minutes long.
Full 30-minute show.
And we were like, man, how did they make that 30 minutes? Well, we just about did.
We're currently at 24 minutes and 10 seconds.
Definitely now we get it.
Now we understand. And that was with one 1 minute break instead of 3 or 4.
A couple, 2
minute breaks.
So, we managed to pull that off.
We did.
Anyway, we have a couple of other events that we might not have mentioned, but we do have an article with all the details, links to stuff that is on our website right now.
And again, we've mentioned it before, but if you have an event that you want us to try and mention on Star City Buzz, again, let us know. You can email Danielle or myself. Again, you can find our emails on the 1011 website. You can also tweet at us or Facebook
tweet at us.
Or whatever that is. And we'll try and get it in the best we can. But
that's That's all.
Wraps it up for now.
And we're not stressed. It's so nice to not be up against the wall with anything, to just be chill.
Just go.
Which
sit
is hopefully
and talk.
how your weekend goes as well.
Push some buttons.
A nice chill weekend.
Yes. All right. Well, appreciate everyone for tuning in and watching another edition of Star City Buzz. Until next time, hope everyone has a nice Thursday, has a nice weekend, and keeps tuned to 1011 both on air and online for all your latest news, weather, and sports.
You've been listening to 1011 Star City Buzz. Watch, listen, stream on the 1011 Now app on YouTube.